Today, with the Football Association, we launched our resource, Footballers Remember, an introduction to the Holocaust. And it's something that's culminated out of the visit to Auschwitz with the England football squad last year. It really is a brief introduction as to what the Holocaust was, but it also shows the footballers' reactions to what they saw. And you can't help but be appalled and amazed by what you see at Auschwitz. And I think the reactions from the footballers bring home how huge a subject it is, and we want to bring the Holocaust to young people. We want to make it relevant, and what better way than having footballers saying this is important.
It's been a very, very interesting experience for me. I mean, I've thought about the Holocaust very closely for very many years. I was born while this terrible thing was happening, and to come to a school like this today, to see a diverse population of young children has been very impressive. I thought the presentations were excellent, and the questions and the interest of the kids was very, very good. So really impressive. It's a really worthwhile exercise. The actual process itself of the Holocaust survivors meeting the England team, which I know they were deeply impressed by, and they're now visiting Auschwitz, doing the film that's been seen today, will be seen right around the country, hopefully will be impactful. It's bringing the power of football into a major social issue. I mean, we try and do it in lots of other areas as well, but to see it done in this sort of historic context, I think is very important, and I'm delighted to be part of it. The Holocaust has been something I've been conscious of and aware of, and has influenced my life very greatly. There's hardly been a day go by when I haven't thought about it in one way or another, and it's affected my views on politics, on society, on life, on what's possible, on what can happen in the world when you, in a way, least expect it. It was cold-blooded. It was predetermined. I mean, Hitler, in his book Mein Kampf, more or less set out what he intended to do. And people didn't believe it. They thought this couldn't possibly happen in the real world, but it did happen.
What we try and do with everything we do at the Holocaust Educational Trust is find ways for young people to relate to the subject. And hopefully this has just planted a seed for them to think more about the subject, and hopefully will develop their interest in the future. We were also delighted to have Ziggy Schipper and Ben Helfgott, both Holocaust survivors who've had unimaginable experiences, but still today give their testimony.
My grandparents, my cousins, my uncles. I've lost most members of my family, except one.
I had 23 cousins. When the war finished, I had 3 cousins. So 20 of my cousins, together with their parents, were killed.
We were all very privileged to have them speak to the football squad ahead of the visit, and I know that day really did stick with the footballers when they then went and visited Auschwitz themselves.
It was an extraordinary thing for me and us to do. I hadn't been there before. It's very difficult when you're in a place like that to visualise the horrors that actually took place. It was one of the most dreadful places in the history of mankind. So very pleased to have made that visit. Very important, I think. Really grateful to the England players for doing it, and to Roy Hodgson, who I have to commend because he's taken a real interest in this, and I know he's done some things on his own subsequently which have helped push this agenda forward.
Every secondary school in England will have received the resource so that it will be used in every school around the country, so that in years to come young people will learn about this subject, but very much with the impetus and the help of the footballers, and make sure there's a real long-lasting educational legacy from the visit.